Hello, everybody, and welcome to the FIFA World Cup 2026 podcast. Today, we will be talking about the quarterfinals, talking about a few topics, and today I'm joined by a new guest.
Hello everyone, this is Ram, and today me and Rudra are going to be talking about the quarterfinals.
So, now let's take a look at the first quarterfinal, France versus Morocco. So, Ram, opinions on France versus Morocco?
I think this is the easiest of the four. Actually, what? No. I don't actually think it's the easiest of the four. I think there's one easier later on. But yeah, it's France.
I sorta agree with you. However, you can't count Morocco out at any time because, they are known to make upsets. Last World Cup, they upsetted Portugal, they upsetted the Netherlands, and I don't think you can even call it an upset anymore. So I think it's hard to predict. Let's look at the backstory at some of these teams and see how they've performed. So Ram, I'm gonna name a few statistics and I want your opinion on them. So France's only goal in the round of 16 was scored by Kylian Mbappe in the 70th minute from a penalty against Paraguay. So more on Mbappe. Mbappe has scored 7 goals for France in this World Cup, and the rest of France has only scored 7 goals as well.
There are pretty simple two bits here. First of all, about the singular goal scored by France. If you look at previous Paraguay matches, in particular the round of 32, you notice that they play extremely defensively, right? They foul a lot. The thing that parking the bus, so to say, that they do enough. Second thing, it makes sense. Mbappe is their striker. It's their main guy. And all of the attack is centered around giving him the ball. For instance, Olise hasn't actually scored much. He is a goal scorer, but he hasn't. Has he scored a goal this World Cup?
No, he hasn't.
He's benefiting Mbappe. He's giving the ball there. Dembele scored a hat-trick, I believe, earlier on.
Yeah, against Norway, he had, I'm pretty sure, a 30-minute or a first half hat-trick.
Yeah, so you see the point here, right? They can score, it's just that they probably choose not to. That attack is still very deadly and very coherent.
Fun fact about the Dembele hat-trick, 2 of those goals were assisted by Kylian Mbappe.
See? Now coming to Morocco, I think they want revenge from 2022.
Yeah, it makes sense why they would want revenge. Their dream run was ended by France in the semi-finals, I'm pretty sure, and they would want to advance to the semi-finals by getting revenge.
To be fair, I don't think they're too hurt about that.
They made a very deep run in the tournament and they are very proud of it. One player who has had an injury in Morocco, which might actually hurt them, is Ismail Saibari's injury.
Oh.
He was a top scorer for Morocco so far in the tournament. He scored 3 goals while missing the last 2 games.
That is pretty sad, but I think it's pretty clear at this point. I don't think there's much more to discuss here. France is going through.
Yeah, I think I have to stick with the same prediction. I think France is going through. Alright, Ram, so moving on to the second quarterfinal, Spain versus Belgium. Now, let's talk about Spain first. They have looked very vulnerable this World Cup. They've drew against Cape Verde, that was in your masterclass. They were shaky against a very crumbling Portugal, and they had a bare bones 1-0 win to Uruguay, who only got 2 points in the group stage.
See, here's the thing. Right now, they're not looking as deadly, partly since I believe Yamal didn't play too much in the first few games. And then I think the actual test for them was the Portugal game. And in the Portugal game, they did what they had to do. Right? That Ferran Torres assist, he looked shaky supposedly, but at the end he did come through.
Yeah, it's true that Yamal didn't play in the first game. He was subbed on in the late minutes, but I don't think he could have done much. But it's true. I don't think Spain took the first game seriously. They didn't look like the very good side Spain as they were in Euro 2024 or Nations League 2025, which looked concerning. Maybe they'll turn up in the knockout rounds. They've beaten Portugal. They've looked a bit shaky throughout it, but I still think they can pull through. Now, moving on to Belgium, they look strong compared to their 2022 campaign, which in short was not really good.
I mean, sure, but now they're going up against Spain, and Spain is a really, really, really good team.
Yeah, their golden generation has come to an end. The players of the golden generation are nearing their retirement, like Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku, Courtois, etc. So I genuinely think Spain will take this victory pretty easily, and I'm more interested to see if there are any changes in the Spain XI.
There's a small counterpoint here. So if you look at Thibaut Courtois, I mean he can probably still make an impact, given that Spain have been known to like miss things and get defended by good goalkeepers. They'll make chances, but they can't finish them. This has been an issue. That's the reason why they were close with Cabo Verde in the first place. So even though I think Spain are going to win, the margins and such are still undecided, and I think one can hold out for an upset.
Well, so I would go for Spain to win. Let's see who he goes for.
I still think Spain only because they can make them tie, but can they force a win is something entirely different.
Alright, let's move on to what might be the most entertaining quarterfinal, England versus Norway. Oh boy, am I really excited for this one. Bellingham, Kane on one side, and on the other side you have Haaland, who's probably been the best player this World Cup. He scored 7 goals, 3 braces, I'm pretty sure, throughout.
There's also a slight counterpoint here. You also have the other person who could be the best of this World Cup, Jude Bellingham. He's been crazy. In the Mexico match, he was doing everything a football player could do on the pitch.
Talking about Bellingham and Kane, we move on to the topic of are England too over reliant on these two players. Now, this is a stat which is very concerning for England because out of the 11 goals that they have scored, Kane has scored 6 and Bellingham has scored 4, leaving only one for the entirety of the team other than Kane and Bellingham.
For what it's worth, as long as they don't get injured, I still think a two-player team like a quote-unquote two-player team, can still make it all the way to the finals and even win that, as long as they stay productive. I've heard that Jude might get a second yellow card, and that would result in a one-match suspension. That could lead to England's downfall. I don't know if they have a cam replacement.
Again, it's a pretty too over reliant. You can also say Norway is over reliant on Haaland, but that would also make sense. But I feel like if you compare England and Norway, unity wise, I think Norway have actually been the better team. They've been because Haaland's their main man. He's been their main man for a while, and they've qualified for a World Cup after so much time. So if they make their main man Haaland and keep providing to them, which they have been, he will keep delivering like he did against Brazil in the round of 16, scoring a brace to win the game.
Honestly, all in all, it'll be exciting, but I think I would go for England to win. Although I will say, I am supporting both teams. I like both of those teams.
People might not agree with me, but I think Norway are actually going to get through on this one. They are the ultimate dark horses of this tournament, and I really do hope that they get through and continue their dream run.
The Norway World Cup incoming, maybe? Who knows?
Moving on to the last quarterfinal, we have Argentina versus Switzerland. Now, I know Ram was talking about some quarterfinal which is easier to predict than the first one. I'm pretty sure that's this one. Am I correct?
Yep. I mean, it's pretty clear that like Argentina are the bigger team. They have coherence. They're able to drag their football into the late minutes, where other teams might choke, might make mistakes. Like you saw that Egypt game. Like sure there was mild controversy, but they still had the guts to like pull it through in the last minutes of the game.
I think it's impressive that Switzerland have come to the quarterfinals because no one would have expected it. So I think we do have to give them some credit.
I mean, for sure. I mean, they Like always, I'm just gonna, even though I am gonna predict Argentina this time, I don't know, let's hold out something for the Swiss. Maybe there's always a chance.
Yeah, so I mean, the chances of the Swiss look dim. However, they are also another dark horse of this tournament. They look well united and can well be on a way for an upset, maybe. However, their highest scorer, Mazambi, is also injured. Their path to the quarterfinals has been beating Algeria 2-0 in the round of 32 and beating Colombia on penalties.
To be fair, beating Colombia on penalties is quite impressive, given that their team was pretty good.
Let's talk about Argentina for a second. Their run's been easy so far, but I'm pretty sure tougher challenges lie ahead because if they win this game, they have to face either Norway or England, which look really good, and after that, in the final, obviously, you'll get a strong opponent, maybe France, Spain, Belgium, who knows. Now, what we're going to talk about is one player, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows about this guy. Lionel Messi has scored 7 goals in this tournament. He has a hat trick against Algeria, a brace against Austria, and 1 goal against Cape Verde and Egypt, which are only the highlights of his goals. But the age old question, has Argentina done a lot without Messi?
I think for sure they did. I mean, you saw the Egypt match. Two of those were not scored by Messi.
True, but I feel like without Messi, let's say Messi gets injured or Messi gets a yellow card, red card, due to some unforeseen circumstances, Messi doesn't play in this team. Do you still think that they would go through to the semis and, I mean, not to the semis, but from the semis, do you think they'll go to the final and win the cup without him?
I don't think they'll win the cup without him. I think he's been the focal point of their tactics, their management, so on and so forth. To the extent where if you replace him with someone, anybody else, even if they're not that inferior, I think they would still struggle.
Yeah, I do agree with this statement. And one more thing about Argentina's quote unquote easy run. In my opinion, they just did what they're supposed to do. They got first place in their group. They played perfectly in it. And they completely deserve the easy run, in my opinion.
Sure, I don't think there is much more to discuss about this.
I mean, yeah, you could say they're even their best of the best, knockout opponents were not really great. They would have faced Portugal in the quarters had they topped their group and gone to the quarterfinals. But again, you can't really complain on Argentina for them having an easy run.
Yep.
They just did what they're supposed to do, got first, went out of the group, and they're doing great so far. But again, what can they do without Messi is the question. If they do get a circumstance where something like that happens, it might be inevitable that they might struggle. So my final prediction is that Argentina will win and go to the semis. I think the run ends here for Switzerland. But I mean, I would love to see them go through, upset, sure, but I still think Argentina will go through.
Yeah, same here. I don't really think there is much more here to discuss unless there is like a really rare upset. I don't think Switzerland are particularly poised to take on Argentina's weaknesses. In a way that like for Belgium, for instance, Belgium has a good goalkeeper and they can exploit that. Not Switzerland, Spain might not be able to get their chances through. So now, like, how do you put it? Let's say Spain tries to, shoots 10 shots, misses 5, and the other 5 are saved. Well, they're done for. They're screwed. It's another 0-0 and then a penalty shootout. But I don't think Switzerland can do something like that with Argentina. Like, Argentina's particular weaknesses are not something that Switzerland of all the teams can exploit. I think other teams are better suited for that.
Yeah, I mean, I would like Switzerland to win, but Argentina is just too star-studded, man. We'll go on to the last segment, which is I'm gonna ask Ram some questions, and we both are gonna answer them. Now, the first question is, who would be your top 3 best players at this World Cup?
Haaland, Bellingham, and it's between Mbappe or Messi. I'm not sure. I don't know which way to lean currently, since I guess Mbappe, partly because even I guess, he scored that penalty against Paraguay and such.
So, yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this new style of video. Well, that's the end of our podcast. These are our predictions for the quarterfinals. And yeah, anything to end it off from?
Nothing much. Maybe sayonara, guys.
So, see you all in the next one, and I'll catch you later.